Oh, sorry, I was on mute this whole time. Sorry. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everyone that's joined us right now, those that have joined us early. Welcome to the Thrive Investment Readiness Program information session. My name is Momo Mubila, and I'm projects lead at Bongo Hive, and I'll be moderating this session. Just a few housekeeping rules. As we wait for more people to join us, we will start officially in 3 minutes. I'd like to ask everybody to please mute their mics, just so that we can avoid any distractions and any background noises while the speakers are speaking. Also, we will have a dedicated Q&A session closer to the end of the program. But if you do have questions or any comments that you'd like to make throughout the session, so that you don't forget them, please do post them in the chat, and I will ask them to the speakers at the end of this when we have our dedicated Q&A session. And lastly, thank you and welcome to those that are also joining us on Facebook Live. Please do post your questions in the comments, and I will receive them, and I'll be able to ask the speakers. So I'll just give it another 2 minutes just to allow more people to join us, and we will start in 2 minutes at 15:35. Thank you. Okay, so it is 15:35, and we will get a start on the program. Once again, thank you to everyone that has joined us, and welcome to the Thrive Investment Readiness Info Session program. My name is Momo Mubila, and I'll be a facilitator for today. I'm projects lead at Bongo Hive. Today we'll be joined by two panelists. One of them is Simunza Muyangana, Director of Entrepreneurship and co-founder of Bongo Hive, as well as Gilbert Mwale, our guest speaker for today, CEO of IMSICA. Just to run you through the program, so we've already gone through the welcome part of the program. This will be followed by a short keynote by Simunza Muyangana, just to set the stage for this session. And then after that, he's going to run us through the program, giving us details on how you can apply for the program, who's eligible for the program, and what exactly will be happening during the program. After he's done, we're going to have our guest speaker, Gilbert Mwale, talk to us about his experience on the Thrive program in Kenya. This will be followed by a Q&A session, and finally, we will be closing the session. Simunza, over to you now.
Thank you very much, Momo. It's definitely, for everyone who's been able to make it to the meeting, it's definitely a pleasure to meet with you, connect with you, and to indeed notice your interest in growing your businesses. We're almost 10 years, we've almost been around for 10 years, and the journey that we've been on Bongo Hive has really been focused on working with great minds, building viable solutions that will change the world. Because we believe that entrepreneurs, in an ecosystem like Zambia, entrepreneurs can take their place and deliver solutions that actually are appreciated by customers and solutions that actually change lives. And because a lot of new solutions go through a process of growth, and having partnered with entrepreneurs over the years, we've realized that people come up with great ideas and need to be able to validate those ideas. And in doing so, we then develop the program Discover. Then the next stage of the process is them going through the process of actually growing their companies and actually working at a pace that they can get into the market, test their products in the market, and then validate that their products actually are appreciated by their customers, and begin to build the company around the product and making sure that the product is adopted. This is our support for this is running in our program, a 3-month accelerator program that we call Launch. The next piece that we are happy to roll out and that we've done is Thrive, which is an investor readiness program. And to do this, we are proud that we have partnered with Prospero, who are an ecosystem builder, and Village Capital of Washington in the United States, who have run investor readiness programs around the world successfully. And we, in conversations with them, joining their cohort of the Village Capital Africa communities, we're proud that we can present to you this opportunity to working with entrepreneurs that need to get their businesses growing. And in doing so, we hope that this 3-month program, we believe that this 3-month program that will select certain entrepreneurs, growing enterprises, to introduce them to the investor mindset and how investors actually think through the process of investing in companies, how they make the consideration of which products actually meet growing market opportunities with customers, and how to communicate that to investors well is the next piece that will get to engage them. The Zambian ecosystem continues to grow, and as we go through the conversation, you will get to understand how the program will run. So I'll then take you to the next slide, which will then discuss what the program is. So, like I said, the program is a partnership. The program that we're rolling out in January, that is actually going on, and with applications coming up, is going out is a partnership between Bongo Hive, Prospero, and the Village Capital. And it's targeting businesses that already have a customer base and are going towards growth and actually need financing to then accelerate their growth and capture the market that they're getting into. What we'll be doing is to select 10 companies. For the first time that we're running this program, we're going to concentrate on companies that are based in Lusaka, that are focused on education, tourism, financial inclusion, clean energy, agriculture, or mining services. And the companies that will come into this program will go through a series of workshops that will support them to go through. So let's talk about eligibility. So eligibility, pardon that mistake that we made with the spelling there, but eligibility for the program is going to be companies that already have a product in the market. So these are not companies that are deer stage. That's why we have the program Discover. These are not companies that are beginning to get into market. That's why we have the program Launch. These are companies that have already proven that they've got customers that are buying from them, and they've got a growing trend of customers that appreciate their program. So these are operations. We are not checking for whether they are profitable yet. We understand in the early stages, you might not yet be profitable, but you have an increasing set of customers. But you are investing all the money that you make. So you are making money, and any money that you make is going back into the business. So because of this, we want to see, and we want to hear an ambition for these companies to grow and expand into new markets that are across Zambia or internationally. So you've gotten proof that there's customers that are growing. And then we're looking for where we insist on working with companies that can prove that they've put together a team of at least 3 people or more, and that your staff, that you've got a team that is growing to meet your demands that are in the market. For to participate in the program, we want to stipulate that we're stipulating that senior members of the team will be involved in the program, because the program will be highly focused on strategic decisions that are made, strategic and operational decisions that are made in the business. So expect that two senior people will commit to being in the program for the 3 months of January, February, and March that they're in the program. So the next slide says, to apply to participate in the program, we expect you to visit the Bongo Hive website, which is the bongohive.co.zm programs Thrive. That is the link that you can go to. Friday at 23:59 hours is when we'll close all applications. So we've been running applications for the last 6 weeks, and they'll close this Friday. With regards to the program rollout itself, the program in January, there'll be 4 workshops that will be held. So it's not that the people that will be participating in the program will be in the program for the entire week. So now, people are concerned, might be asking, how will we select the companies that will be participating in the program? What we've done and what we're happy that we've done is that we've been able to invite esteemed mentors, business practitioners, and investors in the country to participate in the program as program advisors. So the final 10, we are reaching out to the board of advisors who are made up of investors, people who run businesses. These are people that you've got listed here, and people who are specialists within certain fields, to then get through the process of selecting the final 10 companies that will participate in the selection of the final 10 companies that will get into the program. Based on those, we will announce to those 10 who have been selected, who has been selected into the program. And once those 10 come into the program during the periods of January to March, they will attend 4 workshops that will then support their participation in the program. So the next slide just shows you an example of what that participation in the program is. So we're going through a 6-week selection of program. People are applying to participate in the program. We then go through a number of weeks in which we actually select the companies that are going to participate in the program, finally come up with the final 10 programs, supported by the advisory board, who then select the final 10. We will then, when the people get into the program, they will then participate of a 12-week process, 4 different workshops, which each take a 4-week-long workshops, and then supported by financial analysts who will help them to analyze what the current state of their companies are, help them go through due diligence, peer-to-peer workshops in which the companies help to analyze one another to make sure that the stories that they present to investors become success. Invite mentors and advisors and partners to come in and engage the companies to hone in on what their offer is before they make presentations. Finally, there'll be an investor roundtable in which the companies then get to meet various investors and present their companies to the investors. Present their companies to the investors. This is a proven model that has worked across the world, and we're happy to say that we have got with us somebody who has participated in a Village Capital program, Gilbert Mwale of IMSICA, who I'm happy has gone through Bongo Hive programs and has also participated in this program, and will be able to share with us what his experience was in the program. Over to you, Gilbert. Oh, over to you, Momo.
Yes. Thank you very much, Simunza, for that. If you have any questions for Simunza, please post them in the chat. If you're joining us via Zoom, and if you're joining us via Facebook, please post them in the comment. As Simunza mentioned, I'll now pass it on to Gilbert Mwale to give us a bit of an insight, some insights on his experience as a Village Capital alumni. Gilbert, over to you.
Thank you very much, Momo and Simunza, for the introduction. Just to quickly maybe introduce myself even more, is that I am the CEO and co-founder of IMSICA, and IMSICA is an agri-tech company. We are simply developing technology for agricultural processes and activities, just simply to digitize them, if I may simplify it. And currently running 2 solutions, an e-commerce platform, which is imsica.com, and an online training platform where we help farmers learn on what farming as a business is, and that is apunzire.com.
Looks like we have lost Gilbert there. Okay, as we try to reach out to Gilbert, let us see if you have, I think maybe we could start with any questions. I can try to, Simuza can try to address just a few questions that have been asked in the chat so far as we try to reconnect with Gilbert.
Thank you, Momo. Have any questions been shared by the guests?
Let me try to retrieve them. You can check on Facebook. Okay. Okay, no questions yet from Facebook. Are there any so for those that have, okay, I'm seeing someone type a question. For those that are joining us on our call, oh, okay, Gilbert is back. Gilbert, are you okay to continue?
Yeah, sorry for that. So I'll just quickly wrap up on a few thoughts that I wanted to just share out to those who may be interested in knowing more about Village Capital and what they do and how Thrive probably will be exciting because of that. Apart from that, sorry for that disruption, internet issues. First thing, I'll just share my points as 3 points. Number one is to say that there's the model that they use at Village Capital, which will be used at Thrive, which is called the viral model. And I find it to be a very powerful tool that could actually help you to, that could actually help any of the businesses out there do what is called a self-introspection. And with a self-introspection, what you'll be able to do, because most times what we do is that we always want to bring out the best about ourselves and forget sometimes to look in depth and understand at what level we are, and therefore measure that up towards the kind of investors that would actually be interested in us. You know, as we may know, there are different investors at every stage of a business. You probably have your own savings, friends, what we usually call friends and family, and then you also have what are called angel investors, grants, and also you're coming in on VC and even debt. So sometimes when you do not do a good, clear self-introspection, you just want to dive deep, and all you're looking for is VC or venture capital money. And at times, you may find that you're being rejected. That happened to us quite early in our business, where we were trying to talk to a lot of big people in the venture capital environment when our business was not yet ready. So that's a very good lesson that you'll be able to get out of this viral model under Thrive, as they'll be using the viral model structure to help you look into your business. You will be able to dissect your own business and evaluate each and every sector, each and every department of your business, and determine how good you are at that point. You can, and I think that would be very helpful, because if you cheat, then you're just simply cheating yourself. But people will actually ask you more questions that will help you narrow down to the truth, which will be able to help your business. The second thing I want to mention is that, you know, most cases, a lot of people are scared to actually, you know, reach out to investors. We rarely get to have opportunities to even talk to them. So sometimes there's always this dialogue where, as young businesses, you are able to chat with each other. You know how young businesses think, but you don't know how investors think. And one of the things I love about a model of Village Capital that I experienced was that I was able to be brought in the same place with investors and then talk, not because looking for investment from them, but primarily all they're simply doing is providing mentorship, and I'm asking them, and these are not people, this could be an investor themselves, someone who works at an investment firm who helps with the due diligence and all those things. So this will be able to help you get an understanding of what is required when it comes to investment. So now you are now talking to someone who gives out money for you to understand whether you are actually benchmarked rightly or not. The other third lesson I would like to bring about is that they have been able to actually create, as Village Capital, create a tool that is called Abac. It's found on abaca.com. And with this tool, it's simply used for matchmaking, matchmaking entrepreneurs to investors or accelerators and incubators and such platforms. So it's a very good tool. Experts will be able to actually work with you in a program like this, and I believe Thrive will do the same also. You'll be able to realize that you sit down and have what are even called mock board meetings. I mean, things that, by yourself could not have easily called a board of directors to come and sit down. But with these investors, they could actually act as a simple mock board meeting and ask you questions, and you can even also pull out from their ideas. You can learn from them. As the greatest advice usually comes for us as businesses is that sometimes don't ask for investment, ask for advice. And you would find yourself getting the investment that you need. And with that mentioned, I want to close off with the last experience, one of the best experiences I had, which was what is called the peer review. So most of us have done probably pitch competitions. You've stood on stage and there were 3 or 4 people sitting down there listening to you while everybody else was rooting for you. And when you're done speaking, those 3 or 4 people asked you questions and they determined whether you won or not. And some of us have thought to ourselves, maybe they did not understand me. Maybe they're not coming from my sector and all those things. But the beauty about the Village Capital model that we had used when I was there was that they simply came out and used ourselves as startups by actually, sitting together and spending the whole entire time of the program, which is 3 months or 4 months, however long Thrive will be. You spend time together sharing your businesses. And apart from that, when you're in the training itself, you are asked to rank your colleagues openly, and by doing so, what you realize is that you begin to learn much, much deeper things from your colleagues, and you have nobody else to point at except yourself, whether your business actually gets to grow and scale beyond this opportunity that you'd have gotten at being at Thrive. So I definitely encourage anyone who is thinking about this, if you are stuck right now and you are wondering whether you should make a decision or not, I say, please click submit and send that application soon enough before time is up, because you definitely want to be part of this program, as you will be able to use a very model to understand your business and also be able to connect to real investors in the space. With that said, thank you very much to Simunza, Momo, and the whole entire Bongo for the opportunity to share my experience at Village Capital in Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gilbert, for that overview of the Thrive program. It was actually quite detailed and actually spoke to the key components of the program. So I will now open the session for questions. Let me just get the chat and get some questions. There's already a lot of questions that have been asked. Let me go through the first one, and some of these questions could either be answered by Gilbert or Simunza, whichever one you feel suits you. So the first question is, we are in the transport and logistics sector. Are we eligible to participate in this program?
Yeah, if you provide transport or logistics within one of the sectors mentioned, agriculture or mining, that's your key sector, or that's where your key clients are, then you qualify to apply for the program, because then you're providing a service within that sector.
All right, thank you. Our next question is, are businesses venturing into fashion and beauty welcome to apply? If so, how exactly can that be done?
That's a very good question. This time around, what we've done is we've picked certain sectors. So it depends on where you are in the value chain. We haven't really picked on the creative sector. So if you do qualify on this, if you are in the sectors that we've picked out, which are agriculture, mining, education, tourism, and clean energy, and financial inclusion. If your business sits within one of those areas, then you qualify to be in the program.
Thank you, Simonza. Okay, so our next question here is, how can you attract investment for a high-risk early-stage enterprise?
Well, yeah. So, Gilbert, do you want to take that before I respond?
Just come again with the question, Momo. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. How can you attract investment for a high-risk early-stage enterprise?
Okay. That's a very interesting question. How can you attract? First of all, you need to understand where you are. That's for me. That is why I say that being part of having gone through the Village Capital program was quite important. Because at the beginning, when you are asked the question, "How much are you looking for?" the next thing you will just definitely say, based on what you think, is, "I think I need $50,000. I think I need $100,000, or I need this number." When someone asks you in detail, where is that money going to go, you can't fully explain. So what happens is that it's very important to sit down, ask yourself very difficult questions to say, if I got this money, where would it go? And programs like this, you don't have to do it alone. Programs like this come through to assist you, work hand in hand with you. And after you're done thinking about that, bring a real investor before you and see if you can convince him, who has not come for the purpose of, say, you trying to get an investment from him, but rather he's coming to be a sounding board. How many times do you get a very qualified sounding board to actually think through with and, formulate a lot of thoughts that, a lot of questions that you had initially and round down to something that can help you? So in simple case, my friend, we are all in the same space. What I would say is that, first of all, understand your business and know where you want it to go and what activities that it needs to do, what areas, people, and all that you need to have. Once you understand these things and put your organization in place in terms of the governance, the people around there, and once you have done that, then you can set a number of what you think would be able to allow you to grow from that level where you are to the next space. So gain some traction, show some results of things that you've been able to achieve besides other people's money. And once people come through past you, you can then be able to say, I have this great team, and this is where we want to go, and this is what we've been able to achieve. And with your money, we can be able to get here. And I think somebody will be able to begin to see that you have done a bit of homework. I think that's a little thought from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert. And just to follow on with what Gilbert said, the considerations that a person has to make when seeking investment is, first and foremost, what stage that you're at. If you're at idea stage, that's the riskiest space, because then the considerations around that is, will you actually be able, have you found a market that's worth working in? Have you figured out how to actually produce this product or service? And will the market actually respond to that? Will them actually respond by having customers that actually buy the product or the service? And then finally, feasibility. Is it a product? Have you figured out how this product will actually make money? Yes, you're going to sell it. Do you know your price point? Do you know how many units you need to sell? And can the market consume it to the point where there's actual growth and money coming back into the business to help facilitate the growth? So you find that at various stages, you're talking to different types of investors. And I think this is what something that Gilbert talked about very early about his experience in learning what type of investors should be talking to. In the ideal scenario, you're talking about if you're at idea stage, most times you're going to be raising money from friends and family. If you're then at the next stage, if you're at the next stage, which is now you have a product and you're taking the product into market and you want to start testing it and it's going, you're most likely going to be talking to angel investors. Then if you're talking about venture capital and private equity, usually these are companies that are already growing. They've already proved that they've got a product in the market. They've already proved that there's a trend of customers that are buying from them, that trend of customers that is buying from them is growing. And then most likely the money that they're trying to raise is for expansion. So definitely that will be. And because you're talking about investors that are looking to grow their money by investing it in your company, then you're most likely a profit-making initiative or a social enterprise that has a very clear profit mandate as well, that can show that there's going to be growth if the money is invested in your company.
Well, thank you, Simonza and Gilbert. I hope that was helpful for whoever asked that question and for others as well. So our next question is there, in your opinion, a principal difference between being ready for investors and being ready for donors? So is there a difference between getting ready for investors or donors?
I think the key differentiator there is this an enterprise? Is this a business enterprise, or is this, especially when you start to work with donors, is this a business enterprise, or is this an enterprise that is, or is, for lack of a better term, a not-for-profit organization? And so if you're a not-for-profit organization, this is not a program that would work for you. Now, I understand that there are businesses that are designed in such a way that they have a social good impact and therefore might receive grants that help them to do certain parts of their work. Then that certainly is a business that would be fit to get into this program. But however, this program will not be geared towards donor money. This program is geared towards investors that are investing for growth and expecting to receive a return on the money that they make on the investment.
Thank you. Okay, so our next question is, if one is selected, what time do the Zoom meetings start and end?
That's a good question. So due to ideally this program, like when Gilbert experienced the program, ideally the program would run 4 days in the week, the whole day. But due to the current times that we're in and respecting government expectations around social distancing and making sure that everybody is healthy, we've decided to then carry out this program over Zoom. And to do this over Zoom, we'll run the programs in the mornings. So when you do receive, if the 10 that make it into the program, expect to dedicate for 4 weeks of the 3 months. We'll give you the actual dates of the 3 months. Expect to dedicate mornings for 5 days, in which you attend actual sessions for morning sessions, and then you will also have pre-sessions where you can prepare before you come into the programs, where you may have engagements you watch videos of classes that you might be able to take. There may be sessions that you have with investors, mentors, and other experts that you may have to set up in the afternoon, but we'll advise you during those, and those will probably be 1 to 2 hour sessions that you will have with mentors and experts.
All right, thank you.
Just
another question here. I think this is for Gilbert. Could we have
Gilbert,
an spelling of the? Sorry.
Could we have what?
Gilbert, did you have an additional response?
Yeah, I just wanted to come back quickly on the question concerning the projects looking at applying for funds and grants from international donors. I just wanted to say that as exactly as Simonza mentioned, one of the things that you need to also note is that as you're growing at every stage of your business, what this program could help you do is also understand whether you need some more piloting of your idea, and sometimes grants could assist with that. So you may be thinking about going fast to another stage, but where you actually, and I'm mentioning this because we happen to be in Africa and in Zambia, to be specific. And in this space, from what I have learned so far in the last 4 years of running IMSICA, is that you need a lot of traction, like tangible traction, customer transactions, and not just stories. We are not in per se Silicon Valley in the US, where you could use Facebook likes and things like that to determine a lot of interest from customers. For us, we need transactions. So you may realize that you may learn from it that you are heading too fast or heading too slow, and you'd want to actually be able to, to look out for other opportunities like grants and so. And probably, like Musumuza said, it's not going to be a training on how to reach out to grants. It was going to be directed towards investors, like equity investors, but you could also be able to understand from there how to approach other money opportunities.
All right, thank you, Gilbert. Okay, so our next question now is, we're providing a platform that can be used by any of the above sectors. Can we still apply? We are currently using our platform for COVID education.
Yes, it fits in the education sector. If it goes across the various sectors, then that's fine. They can apply. Just indicate which your key sector is.
Okay, are there any other questions? I think I have exhausted.
There are questions within the Q&A panel, so I'll start to take some of those. So I think Lizu Chinyama is asking, are you only accepting applications from companies that are specifically operating in the 6 critical sectors, or are you also accepting applications from companies that want funding for specific products that speak to any of the 6? Also, does the specific product have to already be in existence? So in response to that, it is that yes, we're accepting companies that are in the 6 critical sectors, and we are also accepting companies that have products in existence. So proof that you have traction, that you have sold, and that there's growth happening in your company is going to be vital for companies that participate in that are going to be selected in there. Then we have a question from Facebook with regards to, are we going to branch out to other sectors? Yes, this is the first time that we're running this program. And our intention is that in future, we will then open it up to other sectors. We might go into sector-specific programming, or we might open it up to more sectors in the future. Mondia Alpha is asking, how protected is your idea when you're pitching to investors? I would advise you to take all the necessary protection measures that you need to take, whether it's setting up NDAs or confidentiality agreements. And it's really about trust. If you don't want to expose your business, this is beyond idea. If your business is already operating, then you should be talking to investors. If you're at idea stage, maybe you shouldn't be talking to investors. You should be working on actually taking your product into the market, or you could be looking at getting grants to be able to help you, or talking to family and friends. If you have an issue with trusting investors, maybe you shouldn't be talking to investors.
Yeah. Sorry, Smoother, just to add on your point, and what I get from the statement that Smoother has made is that if your business is that like it can be replicated that easily, then I think first of all you must be asking yourself whether it is unique enough. And also maybe you should be exposing it to other people. So probably a lot of these investors that you'll be talking to also probably have seen and heard so many ideas just like yours. So what is critical is that it's all about execution as someone who's starting a business. So really you can't really hold on to ideas. You have to come and expose them and find out how many people are willing to actually work with you or actually, use your solution. So the only way you can do that is by coming out of the closet and meeting other people.
Yes, indeed, Gilbert. So it actually is what's your plan of getting from idea to product, and if you can't take it to product level, and if it's easy, and like Gilbert has said, I think where you have the most fear for ideas is if it's easy to repeat. At the moment, it's easy, somebody can listen to the idea and repeat it, then possibly it's not that great an idea to be considered for investment, because part of the protection fund investment is making sure that there's a business that investors would like to invest in a business that is not easy to replicate. Ernest Salak would like to know, what are the thoughts on ways to improve ICT in Zambia in 2021 to reduce the digital gap in Zambia? That's a whole conversation, and we've addressed it. There are various sessions that we've had, and I think there'll be others coming up with regards to ICT and how it can address challenges with regard to COVID. However, in support of that question as well, I'd like to say that this is a great time to also look at digital solutions, digital in education, digital in agriculture, digital in various places. Because of the current times that we're in, physical contact is something that we're trying to avoid. So new solutions that address, new solutions that take advantage of technology to address making sure that customers can still achieve the goals they want to achieve will help out in that regard. Lizu Chinyama would like to know, what is your advice in the length of answers in the application? Some of the questions, such as question 13, product and 28 teams seem to be quite loaded. Loaded in the sense of, are you asking if we're expecting explanations around there? So I think what I would say with regard to that is, I don't know what, if you're talking about team, for example, product and the team. So what we'd like to know around the product is, how does the product actually address the needs of the customer? And why does the customer come back to it? So is it a question around quality? Are they attracted to quality? Are they attracted to price? Are they attracted to, like, what are the things that customers keep coming back for? And so feedback that you've received on the product actually helps out. So what we look for is knowing the customer and what the customer is trying to achieve. How does the product actually help them to achieve that? Then with regard to the team, what we're particularly interested with regards to the team is, what is the skill set on the team? So what is the skill set of the team that makes them the ideal team to deliver that product towards customers? So being able to give us some definition around that. So it could be they've got experience, it could be they've got qualifications that say that they're specialists in being able to respond towards that. Then the final question came from Donga, which is, Donga's filled in the application, which is supposed to lead towards being invited to a meeting. Is there another application process, and would there be? No, once you filled in the application, we will then assess those applications, then narrow them down to a number of the companies that meet, the top companies that meet the criteria for getting into the program. And then together with the advisory board. And then with that, we may follow on for some of those that we have questions. If the explanations are not detailed, we may call back so give your contact details there, because we may call back for due diligence, just to ascertain that we actually understand what your product is, that we actually understand who your customer is, and we actually understand what the market opportunity is for your company. Those are all the questions that I've got, Momo.
All right, thank you so much for taking those, Simonza. If there are no other questions, then we have reached the end of our session. I'd like to thank everyone again. So Simonza, could you please confirm for me or George if there are any other questions? Maybe from on Facebook comments.
Simon is asking, what type of businesses make it into financial inclusion? So financial inclusion are businesses that provide financial solutions, but also address people that may not necessarily have access to financial systems at the moment. So they live in areas that may not have access to the banks, or they are a sector of the economy that currently does not have access to loans and things like that. So that's what would fit under financial inclusion. That's the last question that we've got.
All right, thank you very much. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and Simonza and Gilbert for your time as well. Do you have, Gilbert or Simonza, do you have any last words to share with the potential applicants for the program? Any words of encouragement, any tips, especially Gilbert, any tips that helped you be successful in the program during the application phase?
All right. Oh, okay. In the application phase, I was going to go into the actual program. So for the application phase, I think try to be a little bit elaborate, most especially on the team. Don't talk a lot about a lot of degrees and stuff like that. I think what is critical is what is that person's strength versus what are they dealing with in the team. That is what people want to know, whether they are actually sitting at a role, that they're supposed to be sitting at. Because you could be having someone who's highly experienced but is doing the wrong thing, and that is as good as having the wrong person on the seat. So those are some of the things you want to go for. Then on the product, be precise. It's not about writing so many things that makes you look like you're doing so many things. List out things in a straightforward manner, showing exactly how unique your solution is and how competitive it is in relation to other people out there could definitely differentiate you. And that simply means, you're showing your unique value. What is it that if your solution did not exist, would people miss it for? So those are the things that you want to bring out as you do that. And those who will make it, the top 10 that will make it, I just want to say that please make sure that you participate the whole way. Make sure that you do your homework. Make sure you do you are in the activities, the calls, and all that, because it's in that. And I want to also encourage you to be active and not passive. Ask so many questions, because once these people are gone, you want to make sure that you are able to absorb every thought and every advice that you had. Take notes, obviously. And that's the last thought I think I'd probably share there. Thank you.
Thank you, Gilbert. Simonza?
Thank you, Gilbert. That is actually very succinct and very straight to the point with regards to the process of the program. I think that the opportunity here is definitely that we get excited when we see businesses that are growing, and being able to help them to get the help that they need is something that we get concerned about. And when you talk about the opportunities that exist, I think people should also think broadly. So just because we say agriculture, for example, doesn't mean that we're looking for just farmers. It means that in the agriculture value chain, if you work in logistics, you work in extension services, you work in whatnot, and you have a business that actually addresses various parts of the chains, then you qualify to, and you are a growing business, then you qualify to get it. And especially if you're a business that is especially that if you're a business that is willing to gain investment for equity in exchange for equity inside the business, because the process of the program is to help you think around your business, where the opportunity is, where the growth is going to happen, and to be able to communicate that with investors so that they understand what the opportunity is for growth, partnering with you and getting your company to grow and achieve mutual growth as a business in the sector that you're in. We know that there are a couple of days towards applications being completed, and we're really encouraging you to make that push and finalize your applications before Friday at 23:59 hours.
All right, thank you so much, Simonza and Gilbert, for those last closing words. So I will reiterate again that the applications close on Friday. So this Friday, 11th at 11:59 p.m. So please do get your applications in, and yeah, and be prepared as well for the program that is starting in January. Thank you so much for everyone that joined us. Thank you so much to everyone that asked questions. Your questions were well received, and we do hope that we answered them in a manner that was successful for you, and that will also help you throughout the application process. If you have any other additional questions, you can email momo@bongohive.co.zm, and I'd be happy to answer any other questions that you have, or you could leave comments as well, or you could email via the F6S link as well, and we'll be able to attend to you. Thank you very much, and we have reached the end of our session.
Thank you.
nafyo nobe unjikata kumutima nako kwako